Hey everyone, you won't believe what's happening with Cardano in the last 18 hours. There's a lot to dig into. Let's waste no time. Subscribe, hit the like button. Let's go. So we're going to start here then on coin market cap. The total market cap of crypto globally is down 0.14% at the time of recording and sits at $3.82 trillion, with Bitcoin at 110,822.11, down 0.41% in the past 24 hours, and Cardano at 81 cent 94, down 1.52% as we record this video, and the fear and greed index is at 44. So let's get into the real, crux of what's going on and what's happened in the last 18 hours for Cardano. Stick with me because there's a lot to dig into, some very big developments, and you're not going to want to miss this stuff. So stay fastened in to your seats, ready for this one. So we got Argentina Congress calls on Cardano founder to testify in the Libra investigation. And I thought this was rather interesting. Argentina's Libra scandal probe cites 19 figures, including Cardano's Charles Hoskinson, for their knowledge of the case. Hoskinson previously alleged bribery attempts at the Argentina Tech Forum, but defended the Prime Minister, blaming poor advertisers around the president. Lawmakers see Hoskinson's testimony as key due to his insider view of Argentina's crypto sector and Libra's controversial launch. So look, it's going to be really interesting to see how this one all develops. I wanted to bring it up, although it's not really Cardano, it does involve, big figureheads like Charles Hoskinson, and I'm interested to see, what the developments are. Is Charles Hoskinson going to be there? Is he going to give testimony? This stuff for me is really important because for me, like, crypto is just so corrupt on many levels. It is really concerning me, right? There's lots of snakes in this space. There's lots of bad actors, and even the ones that you think are good are probably bad, right? There's lots of fraudulent activity going on. And this is why I always tell everybody, it's risky to invest in cryptocurrency. I do a lot of fundamental analysis on blockchain projects. And I was sat here defending Charles Hoskinson when we had all these, malicious accusations flying around. And we'll come on to that in a moment. And, he, should feel vindicated. And, we've got more information on that, from a legal perspective as well. So look, stick with me. But when I do my fundamental analysis and you look at project teams, you look at individuals, right? I recently looked at a project, it won't go named, but there was a VC that wasn't happy with me calling out the team were inexperienced, right? And like, when I say they're inexperienced, you've got project leaders putting down that they worked for, say, Google or Meta, but they're only there for a week, right? It shouldn't even be part of any pitch deck that they worked at this place, because what have they done? Set up their goddamn desk. They haven't done or achieved anything with said company, so it shouldn't be there, right? It shouldn't be put out there as you worked at this big firm, and that gives you some sort of form of credibility. Not only that, you can investigate a team and do all your due diligence, and ultimately they've never had any criminal past, no activity, nothing can be found because there isn't anything. But that doesn't mean that once they earn big money, they don't change and they do something, right? We've seen this. We've seen, pools being drained by people that had no history of crime or criminality in the past, but they did something criminal in the future. And money changes a lot of people. Not everybody, but a lot of people, right? So it's even when you do your full due diligence, it's not easy. And I have this saying that a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, when it comes to developers, they're failed Web 2 developers launching stuff in Web 3. ultimately, that's how I view a lot of things that are going on. You've got to do your due diligence, go away, do your own research, make sure that it resonates with you. There's bad actors when it comes to, the promotion aspect of things, all of that, right? You can trust pretty much nobody in this space is how I view it these days. And that's really sad to say, because I came into this space, with a lot of positivity and naivety, I guess. But being here through multiple cycles, seeing the level of frauds, the lack of regulation when it needs to be enforced, you just look at FTX and the big scandal there, and all those, complicit, government officials and, celebrity endorsements and so on, right? So, it's so risky. Nothing's guaranteed in crypto. Do your own research. Never invest more than you're willing to lose, because you do risk losing all of your money investing in crypto. So, and Libra is a fantastic example of that, right? It's just a piss poor decision to invest in this garbage, right? And what's even worse is, leaders of these countries are falling for these kind of scams, right? These scammers launching tokens in their name or the country's name. Not only that, even like Premier League football teams are not doing due diligence. They get the cash, they're happy. They're not doing due diligence. I just want to be clear, like you're seeing sponsors on football shirts. That just the fact that they're sponsored, alarmingly, does not indicate any credibility. I just want to be quite clear on that, right? Because we see this a lot. Cardano internal audit reveals no misconduct, confirms 99.7% voucher ADA redeemed. Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson promised an audit to debunk claims misappropriation of $600 million worth of Cardano ADA. So this is something that I wanted to just highlight, right? Because the day that these accusations were made, I was sat here saying, like, I think that Charles is innocent. I think that this is, just one of those really nasty, vindictive, things that are happening right now. I'm victim of this on nowhere near the scale or level that this is with Charles, for example. But, like almost on a daily basis, people accuse me and my team of doing malicious activities that just have no merit to them. So when I saw this, I just, from previous experience, meeting and talking with Charles, straight away I was quite, strong in my conviction to back him. And ultimately, I think that he should be getting a public apology from anybody that, was saying these things had any merit. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. Ultimately, read through the actual audit yourself. I have done some stuff on Twitter that you can read through to go through in more detail as what the outcome is here. But ultimately, it's not true. And that should be the bottom line. That should be the end of it. Here's how much Cardano you need to hold now to make $1 million if Cardano ADA hits $5.18, $15.14, or $23.26. Now, I think only one of those is really possible this bull market, and that is the $5.18. Anything higher, like the $15.14 here, I just think are unrealistic for this bull market. But maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? For $15.14, you would require 66,050 Cardano ADA. If you wanted, to get to the $5.18, you'd need 81,949 ADA to make $1 million. It gives you a good breakdown. It's simple maths at the end of the day. Again, I would take these as fictional numbers. I can't see there being a $23.26 price for Cardano ADA this bull market, so 2025, 2026. Maybe 2030 if I can get my words out. Maybe that would be something that's likely, but any earlier than that, I think we would be in dreamland. Obviously, I'd love that to happen. I have more than 80 odd thousand ADA, a lot more than that. So, you know, even if it hits, you know, $5, I'd be more than happy with that this bull market. Cardano price prediction. Cardano ADA latest forecast for Q4 2025. Lots of talk about the $1.30, $1.52, and the $1.80 mark, all being what is required for this Q4 prediction. Again, it's rather interesting, but again, these are all just, you know, targets. There's no guarantee that they will be reached, just so I'm clear with everybody. And again, these aren't my price predictions, right? A lot of people comment on our videos saying, you know, you were wrong again, you were wrong. What is it with you flipping and flopping between price targets? My price target for the absolute top that we could possibly see this bull market is $7 for ADA. You know, whether that happens is, you know, anyone's guess, but that's my top, you know, absolute max price prediction for Cardano ADA. If it goes beyond that, I'll be very, very surprised. If it doesn't reach that, then, you know, around the $5, $5.50 is probably realistic. At least that's my views, my opinions. But you've got to go do your own research and take what I say with a pinch of salt. There's no guarantee that any of these numbers are actually achieved. And, you know, nothing in crypto is guaranteed. And so, look, Cardano's 90-day rally gains attention. So 24.64% ADA there. Again, just really interesting when you look at tap tools. It gives you a lot of breakdown on different analysis. Again, talking about very similar numbers. Support at 70 cents. You're looking to breach the $1, the $1.20, and the $1.50. If we can all align on that, that would be awesome. But, you know, you've got to break that support of 80 cents before we go down to 70. I don't think that's likely to happen just yet, but we'll wait until the 17th when the Fed pivot. I'm expecting a lot of volatility, a lot of opportunity in that volatility to pick up some absolute bargains before we start to see a, you know, massive bull run to the upside. At least that's what I'm forecasting. Nothing's guaranteed. Cardano's latest update, XRP price predictions, and what's best crypto to buy now. So again, very much similar sort of stuff. Cardano trading at 81 cents, down 1.04%. Market cap $28.98 billion, with trading volume at $1.11 billion, which is down by 12.57% despite a short-term downtrend. Cardano remains one of the top DeFi projects for 2025 with the bridge to Bitcoin, the scaling solution, and Midnight Protocol. So look, there's a lot of really positive things when it comes to Cardano, a lot of really big opportunities. And all of this stuff is happening, you know, within the last 18 hours, right? There's a lot of things that we've just discussed, a lot of things we've just digested. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, and I will catch you in tomorrow's video.